Alright, I'm gonna admit to every single one of you, I tried to do a full all-out edited video with a bunch of hardcore instructions and everything in, high energy, all this stuff. And as I was doing it, I was like, you know, I don't feel like this is a good video. I don't like how this feels. I don't think this is great lumber. So I've stopped that. That's out. We're going to just take a calm, relaxed video, and I'm going to show you guys how to do this live. I'm not going to be doing anything, any editing, any pre-recording, anything like that. It's going to be all live recording here. Let's get on ahead up to the third story. I actually ended up building this ramp just for this build here. This ramp was completely built just so I could do this. So, as you guys can see over there, that's the back of the clock. That is all the logic pretty much there is here, guys. The clocks themselves are actually quite hard to figure out because it took me a lot of time to get them set up. But I'm going to go step by step how to build this thing here. As you can see, it's 1 p.m. in the afternoon in Lumber Tycoon 2. What an amazing clock that is. I love that. I also note that doesn't look great. The one needs to be spaced out. It's not great. I'll admit it isn't great. And there's my watch. You know what? Okay, I'm just gonna mute my watch. I'm sorry. There's mute, please mute it. Thank you. On, done. All right, guys. Let's go on ahead. I'm gonna explain everything to you guys. So the first thing that I started with, here's like the mess that's still here. The first thing I started with is I began by building this wall here. I began by building this clock face, and it was quite easy to build. Actually, this one was a 6x6, so that was 36 walls in total to make this size. Not bad. I also had one yellow glow fir wood in the very center to represent the very center there. So that is about all the wood I used, I think, pretty much. Not including the ramp over there, which took a lot of wood. But to build this required a glitch and a lot of wires and then a bunch of clocks, as you can see here. This is actually done counterclockwise, if you'll notice. Compared to the front, it has to be done counterclockwise to maintain the order of a normal clock, which is clockwise like so. So if you're going to do it on the back, you got to make sure it's counterclockwise. Each clock needs to be done like this, each one having very exact opposite. If you look of each other to represent AM over here and AM over here, sorry, and PM over here. Wait. No, this is, okay, yeah, PM is over here, AM's over here. I'm sorry. This is actually 6 p.m. right there. This is 6 a.m. right here. If you look, you'll notice that the little ticks here are separated by 2. Each one is separated by 2 slots here. So you got 1, and then if you go 1 and 2, and that's the next one. You can move this thing around 48 times. There are a total of 24 hours in a day. So I needed to have, for 1 full hour, I needed to have them separate by 2 movements. So that's how that worked here. That one would be 6 p.m., 6 a.m. over here. That connects to an OR gate here. That is to keep things organized with the OR gate. I guess really an OR gate isn't actually necessary, but I like to keep it that way just to keep some organization. So that's how that was done. Once you get the OR gate set up there, I had it move up here, and then as you can see, they move through the wall, and I'll show that to you guys in a second. But basically what I did is I glitched it out. This one's actually slightly different. I did this one slightly different just because I thought it would be easier. I kind of went to the very end top of this hand here instead of the very middle. So as you can see, it connects right there instead of down there. That's the difference between the hour 12 hand and the rest. But you can do it either way and it works just fine as long as they connect. If you look here in the center, I was very careful to keep my wires very separate all around. If I can see through here, I really can't, can I? Everything in there is very separated. Everything in there is very carefully separated to make sure that nothing is accidentally connected to each other. That actually took me quite a lot of time to figure out to get those separated properly. But once I was making sure that everything was separated, I was doing pretty good. It was a lot easier. So I got all of those wires well separated, all the hands well separated, and then what I did is I reloaded my base, and I'll show that to you guys here. I'm gonna skip the loading portion here, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you guys right quick how to glitch out your walls like so. If you don't know already, If you know already, then this isn't important, but there's a way to glitch out those walls so you can't actually see them, and I'll show that to you guys in a second. I'm gonna go ahead and pause the video here. What a beauty this is. Look at that. Everything. It's such a big mess now. Make sure you're near where you're going to load in your base. Whenever you actually load in, you're going to need to be close to your base before you load in, or else you're going to not be able to make it in time. I've made sure I'm near this spot here, so I know, and I know how to get to my clock as quick as possible, so I'm about to load in any second now, maybe, but I'm just ready to go so I can get there really fast and not lose any time. I've just got to wait for my base to finally load in here. Alrighty, so we've finally loaded in. Give this a second. I like to kind of hesitate here because sometimes that glitches out, and it seems if I go too fast it'll glitch out and I'll have to reset to then restart the loading process. So just a note to any of you guys that have large bases, just be careful with that. But probably most of you already know that. I have to do some parkour here on my base to actually get as close as possible, and then I have to actually wait a little bit because I can't really get up any farther until this ladder loads, which I believe is right here, yeah. So I just gotta wait for the ladder to load, which should be right here. There we are. Oh, there we are. Get all the way up. Get over. Get going. We gotta get to the very center of this thing here, and you guys will see why in a second. I'm gonna go over here, gonna get all the way up the wall, move, B, move, and then hit B, hit move, hit B, hit move, and hit B. And notice none of them came back. Not one of them came back. I can see all the wiring here now. That's what's important. Also, see here, move B. Yeah, now you can see that one too. So now you can see that as well, because that one's done by itself as well. But that's all the wiring exposed now. That's how I did the wire connection here. As I moved it just like that, and once we get back up there, you'll see they're still not there. They will not come back until I reload the base, or I have a friend that is whitelisted come over and move the wall again and actually move it successfully. I believe if they move it somewhere, then it will reappear wherever they moved it to. But don't do that, especially in this situation, because then you can't move the wall back with all these wires in the way. So that's another thing. Don't move the walls actually once you have these wires set up, because you're not gonna be able to return them without completely removing all of these wires. As you can see, each wire is connected all the way to here to the ends there. That's how I did these. They're well separated, and so they're not having issues with connectivity. Should be 8, 10, it's now 10 p.m. at night here in Lumber. But that is the clock. As you can see, that one is now set up. The 10 p.m. clock is now on its tick, and it's about to hit 11 p.m. right here, as you guys are about to see. But that is how they're connected. The neon wires were built before the walls were moved, and then these connection from the OR gate were built after the wall was removed here. So make sure you do that properly. Also, once again, make sure you build this in a counterclockwise rotation and not a clockwise. As you can see, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 compared to the other one over here, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. So it matches, you know. I did that wrong the first time. It was quite annoying to have to redo. So make sure you do it right the first time, people. This one, as you can see, is a bit different. It's connected to the very end there. You could also do it that way. It's an option, but you may have to reload multiple times so you can move all of the necessary walls. There's a lot of walls to move. There was a lot of walls to move for me if I was to do it that way. So just make sure you guys know what you need to remove, and so you can build through. This is a technique you can use for any situation where you need to get a wire through, by the way. Just a note to you guys there. And then finally, I did add this center, as I said earlier, to cover up this weirdness in the very center where they're unevenly distanced between the center. That's just to cover that up so it's not seen. I haven't completed this clock in terms of decoration. I will be covering up the back of this clock. I will also be adding glass to the very front of this. That is a build that something I'll be doing later. But once it is done, it'll look like a fully enclosed clock. I seem to be having some lag spikes here. But I don't know if there's anything else. If you guys have any questions on how to build this further, let me know. Let me go ahead real quick. I'm going to give you real fast all the numbers, the resources, and then I'm going to just do step by step. Just boom, 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 step by step, how I built this. I used a total of 24 clocks, 36, well, actually more than 36 wires, I will admit. I would suggest having more than just 36 wires. 36 wires is the minimum if you want to use an OR gate. If you're wanting to use an OR gate, I would suggest having 12 of those for each hour. You're also going to need at least 12 neon wires, white neon wires, or whatever color that you want for your hands to be. And then if you want to make your numbers neon wires, then you're going to need 14 of those. Actually, no, 15 of those. My apologies. You're going to need 15 neon wires of any type to make the numbers, or just normal wires if you want them to be normal wires. And then I made the wall here a 36 by 30, I mean 6 by 6, which is a total of 36, which means I needed a total of 36 units of wood with the building power, and then one of the glow fir wood, which also is 1 unit there, as I as well have the power. So that is all the resources you need. Let me go step by step real fast. I built the wall here. I built all of the walls. I placed them here. I built them, filled them with the wood, and then I placed it up all the way up. Then I purchased all the resources I need. This actually took quite a few attempts as I messed up on what I needed multiple times and didn't get enough a lot of times. Once I got all of my resources that I needed, I actually got all my clocks open. I laid them out in a line. I then began setting each clock to the correct hour. Once I had set each clock to the correct hour, I then began placing them like so in a counterclockwise order. So each one is properly going to be on the right side compared to clock to the right side, the front side. I then began placing my OR gates. And once I had all my OR gates placed, I then began connecting the clocks to the OR gates. Once I had done that, I got my neon wires, my white neons, and I began placing those, and it took me quite a lot of time to get those spaced out, so make sure you do that correctly. Once I had all my neon wires spaced out properly, I then went ahead and connected my OR gates to those neon wires via the reloading method and removing these walls here. Once I had connected all my OR gates to the neon wires, I then went ahead, reloaded once again, and began to this was after I'd made sure that all those worked properly, but once I made sure that was working properly, I then went ahead, reloaded my base again, and did all the numbers there like so. And once I had finished the numbers, I was done with that. All that's left for you to do is to now decorate your clock however you want to. It's your choice how you want to decorate it. I'll leave that up to you guys. But I hope you guys did enjoy this video on how to build a clock in Lumber Tycoon 2. It was a bit more relaxed than I had originally planned, but I'm glad it was. I didn't like the original plan. It was a lot more energetic, and I didn't really think it fit. Again, I'm a bad builder. I'm not great at design, so this is not the best looking clock ever. I encourage you guys to make much better looking clocks than what this one looks like. I'm just glad it functions. That's what my goal was here, was to make it work. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with what it came out as. Guys, hope you did enjoy. I will see you all. I will see you all in the next video. I'm sorry about that, but I'll see you all in the next video. I hope you did enjoy. Goodbye, everybody. I'll see you later, I think. Oh, did I mention to like, comment, and subscribe? I probably didn't. Would you do that for me? You don't have to. It's your choice, not mine. But would you please consider hitting the like button? And if you haven't already, consider hitting the subscribe button. You don't have to, but it helps you out in many different ways, including getting more content similar to this, getting back to my channel easier, promoting my channel so it can grow, all this stuff like that. It's a win-win situation. So if you guys would please hit the subscribe button, that helps me out a lot. Other than that, guys, hope you did enjoy. I will thank you for watching to the end of this video. I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye, everybody.